Welcome back, everybody. It has been a hot minute since we got together. I'm super excited to DM for you all again. And to all of you, whoever is watching, welcome back to Nat 1 Nonsense. Woo! Woo! uh, Recap of you guys this last session. Uh, it is more for Book's benefit because he was not with us last session. So it is going to really benefit and explain a lot as to what has happened in the background of their character sheets and their characters as a whole. Um, Real quick introductions for everybody again. To my right, we have Renee, who is playing Warning Lavelle. Uh, to her right, we have Jake, who is playing Book Kroblup. To Jake's right, we have Michael, who is playing Spine Splitter. To my left, we have Eugene, who is playing Sir Thomas. I almost said Sir Will. I apologize. uh, to his left, we have Zach, who is playing Rec Deck. And the two gentlemen we have that are unfortunately not with us, we have Theron and Kieran, played by Jordan and Chris. Hello, hello. All right, into the recap. So, last session, you guys had made it to the mysterious island. You had dealt with the sirens, you made it into town, or you started making it towards the mountain of the mysterious island. And you guys came through a gorge with a clearing of sorts, and you happened upon a blue kobold that was out and about through a. Do I need backup?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Through a interesting turn of events, uh, found out that there was an entire village um, on this island of blue kobolds. No additional colors, nothing else. And all of the kobolds had a Scottish accent. Because that's the one that fit the best for me. We also, and this is for Fearon's history. Kieran has not yet come to understand this, but Fearon has a sinking suspicion that the chief of these blue kobolds potentially is either their dad or, as Fearon says, their brother. Still yet to be determined. Um, you guys happen to have a discussion with the chief. You guys make it into town for a much needed long rest because prior to this meetup, everything had gone horribly wrong and Fearon was almost dead, running on 3 hit points. Yeah, you guys hadn't taken a long rest since the siren battle. So you guys make it into the village and start discussing with the chief, just trying to figure out what this place was, trying to get information. Spine Splitter specifically trying to get information on Durandel, the mage who has his mother's soul and is siphoning power from it. Come to find out that the chief was the only one who was awakened among this village, had enough of an intelligence to at least keep the village running, and just basically keep the other kobolds alive. The other kobolds, however, are not very intelligent, so it is a 24-hour job. You did also find out, which this is the part that Ook unfortunately got to miss, through additional information gleaned from the chief. There was a uh, cavern with writings and glyphs that all led to the mother of dragons, Tiamat, which is how he, the chief, had become awakened.
We might have convinced him that Chris's character was the next Messiah.
Yes. Yes. Basically, Spine Splitter convinced the new chief that Kieran is the next chief and the Blue Kobolds Messiah.
Oh, God.
That's how we got to the top. That's how we got to the cavern.
That's how you guys got to it.
True, yeah.
Once you guys arrived at the cavern, through very quick thinking on Sir Thomas's part, you guys were able to very, very quickly figure out the puzzle that in order to basically initiate the dreamscape of which the kobolds got to meet with Tiamat. Through some additional puzzles, basically providing elements to basically give the form of Tiamat a better shape so that you guys could have a conversation with. Kieran became awakened. He got a he became awakened. So you'll have to I'll have to add this, or Jordan, if you can show him how to add this. Kieran gets a +2 to his intelligence.
What's that make his intelligence?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm curious about.
6,
I believe. 4.
Each of the kobolds also received what is known as a dragon soul seed. Basically, something when all of you kobolds receive the power from Tiamat, from the respective branches of Tiamat's heads for each of the racial portions of your guys' kobold branches, white, blue, red, green, and black. You each gained powers from this interaction. Each of the kobolds now has a breath weapon, which was a horrible idea on my part. And each individual, and the breath weapon is specific to the color of your kobold. For example, Rektek and Ook are both red kobolds. They have fire. Kieran, being a blue kobold, gets lightning. Kieran, being a white kobold, gets cold. Renee, being a green kobold, you get poison. And the lucky one, Spine Splitter, was the only one that had a choice because he technically had a marking from he had poison or necrotic, based off of his lineage with his shadow dragon mother. So he has necrotic damage.
What's their
You each also got individual abilities, which is on D&D Beyond. And I'm going to explain this real quick. I'm going to try and make it very, very quick for each of you guys' individual abilities. Or do you guys want me to leave it a secret and just allow for the abilities to happen?
Secret.
Are the kobolds themselves aware of their newfound powers or no?
You know something is different, so it'd be one of those, basically like when you got the pepper box, you don't know what it does until you do it. So we could allow for that to happen, for it to be secret, or I can just give a real quick rundown if that's what you guys want to know, because it might be cool to let everybody know what each other's powers are.
No, that's
Jordan wants secret.
Jordan wants secret? Okay. Okay.
What's one more secret?
Okay. What's one more secret?
Yeah, don't let me know what all your powers are. I guess
I have a feeling you'll see it in action.
Yeah, you will see.
no kidding.
You'll see it in action very, very quickly. Basically, when you guys, so what we'll do is when you guys want to activate your abilities, let me know. Well, not like a message or anything. It's just like, hey, I'm using my Kobold ability now that you gave me, so that then I can give a real quick, brief introduction as to what it is, so that each people can see what is happening.
Who said mine isn't anything?
Yes.
It's like, man, I got a breath weapon. That's it.
We're not going to get into it because that was the recap. You guys all emerged from the cavern of Tiamat that you guys were defending. You guys were in the cavern. You made it up. Everybody has. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, Eugene got a sun sword.
Sunblade.
Yeah, or sunblade. Sorry, he's got a sunblade that Tiamat gave him because they obviously knew that if he was going to take an oath, it wasn't going to be the Tiamat. It's like she knew or something.
And our cloaks of protection protect us from his sunblade, right?
I was gonna say,
Just constant disadvantage on everything at all times.
Yeah, yeah, your guys' sunlight sensitivity.
I have a cloak of darkness that prevents it. Oh, that's
You
right. I
guys
think
are-
there
you
was a
guys
reason
get-
I wanted the sunblade.
But yeah, you guys all emerged from the Cavern of Tiamat. For those of you who have not already included it on D&D Beyond, you all get a long rest from this interaction. It was a magical effect of a long rest. And you guys appear in front of the chief. And I know I said this technically, Michael, but I'm going to retcon something because there was something left out in the recap that just sounds so much fun to re-include now. As you guys approach, I mean, obviously, you guys are kind of covering your eyes as you step out. The daylight, it's starting to become daylight. You guys went into the cavern when it was dark. And you guys are appearing. It is morning. The chief has been standing in one spot waiting for you guys all to emerge for the entire night. Well, he's also been making sure to keep an eye on the villagers because little does Book know, the entire village of 1,000 blue kobolds is up here at the Cavern of Tiamat to see if Huron One becomes the messiah of their new village, the awakened one. And it guys all get the ability to meet Tiamat herself. So the rest of the village is asleep, obviously. The chief is awake. And because they all left in a hurry, those of you who would like to make a perception check, please do so.
22.
22? Anybody who beat
18.
Okay, anybody who beat a 12. Anybody who didn't beat a 12, they're blinded by the sun. Anybody who got above a 12 realizes that at least 40% of the village is in flames. Because all of the Kobold villagers have left the village to see this, and they left their fires running, they left their forges running, they've left torches burning. In random spots, people dropped everything. And to everyone who got above to anybody who got above a 16 on this perception check, realize that none of the kobolds are looking at the village. Nobody knows.
Okay. They all technically should know common, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say, hey, you might want to take a look behind you.
I'm just gonna stare. Warren's just gonna look there.
You all have emerged from the cavern. Have you awakened? Have you met Tiamat?
Your village is on fire.
What?
Your village is on fire?
The chief turns around, and he doesn't turn back around to face you. You just see him immediately take off towards the village. I've got to put the village out. The rest of the villagers are still there, so you might have to convince them to go. The chief just took off.
Hey, your village is on fire. If you'll turn around and look behind you, you might want to go put the fire out.
Give me a persuasion check
Oh.
on this. Because it is going to be.
Oh, I know. I'm dealing with kobolds.
Well, you're dealing with kobolds. I am going to roll.
Okay. I got a 12 on die plus 11, so that's a 23. Well, I respect into a paladin.
Oh,
My paladins are always going to have persuasion.
What? I'm just looking at you trying to go.
Just to see, just to see, because they could get a nat 20.
Always breaks at this for some.
They did get a 15. You see about half of the villagers start taking out after the chief, and now realizing that things are becoming dire, because their village is about to burn to the ground. The rest of them are all just really excited that you guys have emerged. They rush you basically to ask questions. Just like, how was Tiamat? Well, how was she? Was she?
Oh, I
was
think
she?
the fucking hair.
Nope.
I will sidestep them and head down towards the village. to see
Okay,
if
so
I
you're
can-
gonna start.
if I can lend any.
Oh, okay. You're gonna
assistance.
start lending any aid.
Nope.
I
I take fuck that.
I start telling scary stories about Tiamat, just
Scary
making
stories,
shit up on the spot.
They are thrilled to hear this.
Just fantastical scary stories about
Yes.
Tiamat.
I'm gonna stand
Um,
behind Rectuck and just like add exaggerations to it.
Okay.
She's my hype man.
She's your. Whoa. Is anybody gonna promote Kieran, the new Messiah?
But she's already gone.
That's on fear in there.
Kieran, are you gonna
As
promote your?
Beer looks on at the fire, he looks over at his brother. Come now, brother. It is time. I feel the power welling up from my new paladin self, an oath to Sir Thomas. And then I step forward and I want to activate my breath attack.
Okay. Okay.
How far away are we from the village?
You guys are really far away from the building.
Really, really far away.
You guys are at least several hundred, about a half a mile from the village.
I am certain I am filled with power.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, Jordan. I want to also. So I'm not gonna have you do it, but I'm going to verbally address something if you haven't had a chance to read it, just that you can read it now.
Mhm.
The breath weapon is going to go into effect, but because you are a cold base or a white kobold, you'll have cold powers. If you will check, I believe it is under your warlock abilities that I gave you. You have a fourth ability that you can do. I believe I think it's called the Tentacles of the Deep one, where
Yes.
you can summon them.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have
Renee,
a fourth
come on.
ability for
I am
Let's be adults.
Yeah, that was next, but that
to see
is
that
all
because
power. After all, my brother is the chosen god.
yeah,
Why shouldn't I be able to unleash my cold breath and put out the fire? Maybe make some nipples hard.
the reason why I brought that up, Jordan, is that for this instance and this instance only, your cold breath is going to freeze about. Oh no, you freeze 10 kobolds right in front of you.
Perfect.
You don't freeze them solid, but they are frozen in place. They can still talk to you, but it's like their entire bodies are just rigid. Almost akin to rigor mortis, but because they're cold-blooded, and you just flash froze them.
Do you feel the power of Tiamat? Can you not feel me surge in you?
I feel something. Oh God. These are kobolds that are frozen, by the way. They're trying to talk to you, and it's very hard to make a shivering Scottish kobold.
You say it's frozen. How frozen are
So they do have like basically like if you were to the best way I can describe it is if you were to walk into basically like a freezer at a restaurant, how you have like icicles hanging from like shelves and stuff. Everything else is mostly frosty, but then there's icicles. But obviously, it's more like something was just put in the freezer and it's only been there like an hour.
It's like surface level frozen.
Yes, it's surface level frozen. They can still
have scales.
They can still like slightly move, but it's because they're cold blooded. They're just like
really
very slow.
nocturnal right now.
I have
Yeah.
a stupid idea.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Do it. She's not red. She can.
I look around. Can anyone help my frozen brethren? They could not handle my power.
Fook gets excited, runs over, pew, and uses his breath weapon on the kobolds.
Yes.
Okay, so you basically have flash froze and flash roasted. And actually, no, I'm gonna roll for this. I want to see how many you actually get. Just do that. There it is. You only got half of them.
Since this is roleplay, is it counting against our uses?
No, I'm gonna say that this does not count against your uses.
So I
We're
don't
gonna
need
say
to roll
I'm
the
a
damage?
temporary 3rd edition paladin where all of them accidentally doing all this stuff does not, will not have any effect on my oath.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, you guys have flash frozen and flash roasted at least 5 kobolds.
Can I run over and rotate the ones that did not all the way melt so I can make sure they get them better for next time? Here you go, brother. Yes!
Sure.
Feel his power.
If he's so low
I
to the
have
ground,
missed
he's
Monday
never.
so
He is
goddamn
not going
much.
to get burnt.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can turn them like a rotisserie, sure. With the so we will get to what you've done, Spine Splitter. That being said, I will say that you gone back out of the cave. We'll retcon basically what happened. Not yet. I will say from the cave, you smell roasted kobold, and it smells good.
Oh God.
Do with that what you will. So yeah, if you guys spend the next few minutes like warming up the 5 additional ones that you froze, we'll allow for that to happen.
I'm just gonna keep doing the breath weapon in the same place, so the ones that are still there are still getting roasted again, but just slowly trying to get the outer ones as well.
Ah, yes. We want both temperature, dark meat and light meat.
You're doing what?
I want to chink my dagger against them to see if it does anything.
At this, okay, because they were flash
Oh, God.
frozen, and it is day, they are starting to thaw a little bit. So you get a couple of them where they're chinks, but then at least 2 of them you like puncture. It's more, it's like you're done.
Warren's just gonna go,
Okay.
oh, whoops, sorry. Walks away.
Yeah.
Move the next one in.
You're gonna do you real quick, Michael. So, no one has seen that this is no one
flew
here.
the air and
Yeah.
nose on concrete. Nope.
Yeah, the last thing that you guys saw was that Michael had flown into the air to basically escape the kobolds that were flying. So you guys don't see this. This is directing towards Michael specifically. So Michael's back in the cave, and he is placed on. You placed an emerald. Was it just on the sigil itself, or on a specific head of the dragon?
And there was a diocese we said
Yes.
pedestal, so I just put it on there. The central pedestal would be.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for anything. I'm like, hey, here it goes. It's in the center. There we go.
In the faintest of a whisper within your mind, you hear your mother. And it is super weak. But still audibly your mom. Spine Splitter. Are you here?
Oh, that's right.
Okay, what do you say?
I'll say I'm very close, and this asshole's going to die at my teeth.
My son. He is much more cunning than I originally thought he would be. There's something you need to know. Durandel is also Tiamat's chosen.
Wow.
He has a dragon's soul seed.
Okay. I'm really confused. What the fuck?
Durandel.
Well, there's 6 seeds coming for his 1 seed.
Jesus.
Sounds like a great party.
In a almost in a shared senses kind of way, because I know you play Ranger a lot. Almost like a beast sense to where you can. It's not all there. It's very like an old TV where it's very staticky. You kind of get a very kind of grainy picture. You see your mom in a. It's weird. You don't see her full form. You see mist kind of going forward, but it's she can see out, and you see lines in jagged patterns through here, but she can still see through it, almost like it's a window pane. But it's jagged. Large circular room where there are you can see what look to be additional gems and stuff.
You're Steven.
Oh yeah, because you can.
Okay. Sorry. You kids were because you said that's always up now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very very quickly. I'm going to flip a dice, or I'm going to flip a coin, because it is going to be it's going to be like horror televised for you, because you're dealing with all the kobolds.
That's why I was like, oh wait, time maybe messed up. You know?
Okay. Okay. I need you, Zach. I need you to roll me a charisma saving throw.
$23.
Okay. So it's basically just for aesthetics. It's like one of those old reel video things. It's got the slotted spot, and you're basically seeing like a stop motion thing of what he is seeing, and it's basically just of the whole thing, and then it's the beast sense, and so you have no idea what is going on. You're still talking to kobolds, but in like it's like a split mind kind of thing. It's like, what the hell is going on? So you're seeing everything that is going on, but you see the prism as well. You see the 2 stones, the 2 light up stones over here, and you see a grainy photo, or not a photo, but just a grainy form of Durandel. Can't see his face. He's hooded, but you can see his snout. He is also a black dragonborn. Or at least it appears to be a dragonborn. He's dragon feature, like dragonborn-esque features. But has a black maul.
Okay.
He's bigger in size than Donovan, who you guys had on the ship, the second mate. That was his name. I don't know if I ever told you his name, but
No, I don't think you did.
yeah, the second name. His name was Donovan.
Is that the one you killed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You killed the third mate, or no, you were the third mate. You killed the first mate and the second mate, because first mate was Titus. And then you hear your mom again. This is who you're looking for when you find him. You know you're in the right room when you get here. This large open room. Be careful, my son. But hurry. My energy is fading. And then it cuts off. Like a basically like if someone hung up a phone and just, there's no more connection. Rectex getting dial tone.
Architect might have this. There is cursing, mental cursing, and anger, and very bad images.
I'm distracted by my horde of followers. By my
Yes.
fans.
Yes. So, do you come out of the cave at this point? Okay. So you come out of the cave. I'll say at this point, the rest of the kobolds have now seen what is going down in the village. You see that about half of them has gone down. They're starting to put fires out. You're seeing a lot of like white smoke instead of the burning smoke now. So I think water has been getting drawn. It's a lot of like that ashy smoke that's coming up now. So a lot of fires are getting put out. Didn't really exceed more than like 40% damage to the village. And it was more of the outskirts of the village. Yeah, because as in any civilized place, your politicians and your trades and your and your economical powers are at the center of any good town, and the trades and everything else are on the outskirts. Because that's where all the merchants are. So it's unfortunately going, the tradesmen like the kobold blacksmiths and the everything else was where things were starting to die. But whatever. So you all gather back up, and you see the chief with Sir Thomas after getting done, basically putting fires out, and he's just like, "Thank you, Sir Thomas. Thank you for helping us get the fires under control."
You're welcome, but I better go see what these kobolds I traveled with are up to. I have a feeling they might be up to no good.
Well, that makes sense. We are kobolds. So you guys all join back in the town. What do you guys do? Because I know obviously why you were here, but game plan. This will determine how fast this is going to go.
I will ask.
Yeah.
I'll ask Spinesweater if he got a.
We know where the cave is. My side journey to this because of the
Oh, okay.
cavern. Yeah. Technically, I think the cavern. Doesn't the cavern actually connect to that?
No. So I'll say that the Cavern of Tiamat is lower on the mountain to where you guys need to be.
We have to climb out.
I'm good with that.
I will relay what I was told about this asshole being also the chosen and has a seed that needs ripped out and then shoved up his ass
um,
and then pissed on
so
and then torn to pieces. Flame
very
burned.
graphic.
Oh,
You,
yeah.
you hear all the blue villagers go like,
And you're saying all this in your Kobold language, right?
Oh no!
No.
I'll say it's pissed. You
So
have.
I'm hearing this,
Oh yeah.
and I'm saying, okay, even though you're evil, is this clown evil? Clearly,
Oh, very much so.
yeah.
then I'm with you.
Very
So-
much so. He's going to be consecrated. He's going to be decimated. He's going to be chopped up into little pieces, and I'm going to eat every last piece of him.
Okay.
Like, there's. You have probably never seen any of us kobolds, but right now I'm frothing at the mouth.
Right.
Almost
rabid.
Eyes are glowing crimson red.
I'm
And
gonna-
he's just
I'm gonna
chomping
guess
at the
you're
bone.
rather upset at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little. Keep looking at the mountain. I'm like, everything in my power not to just fly and go there right now.
Please don't do anything too rash. Let's just go about this so that we have the best chance of success.
Yes. I'm still here. What do you mean?
But I guess if you're ready, we should go now.
Yeah, I've got nothing to do
Yeah.
in the village.
The chief again reiterates something that he said on your way to the village before you guys went on your side trip. All right, now like I said, be careful because my kobold mage, he goes up to that part of the mountain to practice his spells and whatnot, and he swears the mountain has attacked him back. He might be able to lure me, because he's not only is he messing with magic, he's also our only alchemist on this island, and he tests everything.
Vibes of his potions a little too much and other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So he might be a little much of a wackadoo, but just be careful regardless. I'm very happy that you all got to meet Tiamat, just like me. And the blue one looking for Kieran. Just like, you look smarter already. And just basically says that the cavern that you guys need to go is on the western face of the island. So you guys are looking directly at it. It's very much north, south, east, west. East, west.
All right. I will use my free summon of a warhorse.
Oh, your steed! Yeah!
And I will get on my steed and I'll say, "Are you ready, Skull Splinter, Spine Splinter, whatever your name is?" Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
I want to ask the chief if they have any dire weasels. Or dire ferrets.
You know, we ourselves do not have any dire weasels.
But
We've
maybe
been,
just
in a
turn around and walk
constant,
away.
we've been in a constant fight with them for years. Or above game. This is like the Australians with the emus.
The Great Emo War.
The Great Emu War. For them. They've got sticks, they've got spears, and these are just dire weasels. Which these kobolds technically are about head and shoulders taller than. So it's just basically they've been fighting what could be their mounted steeds. And they've been fighting them for centuries. It's like, yeah, we don't talk about the chief. It's just like, we don't talk about the dire weasels here.
Can I find some?
On the north side of the island.
Okay.
Trust me, they're everywhere, like a plague.
You know how we'll stop this plague?
Huh?
You know how we'll stop this plague? I look around and I point to all the blue kobolds and start demanding, "You will help your god. You will go with us, and we will smite this plague." In the name of
going up the mountain.
Later.
Jordan,
yeah,
Very leaning in that direction.
is Kieran next to you in his heat? I need this to. Is Kieran standing next to you when you say this? And
Oh, yes.
is he fully aware of what you're trying to do?
he's aware. Whether he's insightful of what it means, I don't know. But he is aware I'm doing it, and he always goes along with what his brother says. And I'm his color guard guy. Think of it like a Knight's Tale, and I'm his Sir Joffrey.
Yeah.
He
He agrees.
give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, thank God for the advantage. 19.
19 total.
19 total.
1 second. I gotta get a percentage dice.
Yay. My blue brethren, I know my powers stronger
I just
than
want
you.
to see the number I just rolled.
I want to see it. 20.
Oh my god.
100%, baby. Let's go. Or 1%. I'll take that too. That's cool.
It's supposed to be.
So, Jordan,
Yeah.
as I stated already before, this village is 1,000 strong. You got 90% of the village with you.
My 900 brethren, let us go and smite these evil ones.
You guys don't have an army. That is going on its own side quest.
An hour in, I think.
Yeah.
Can I make a bastion and just send them out on the side quest while we do something else?
You can add one to the broken steel counter. Already on. Already on it.
We should also start a broken Sir Thomas counter.
We will-
Have a tick on in every episode we've had, probably.
I will roll periodically throughout this to determine how well things are going.
So you're sending them on the side quest to go and
Fight the
attack
dire weasels. Just so we are clear.
Okay,
I just wanted them out.
I know you wanted them out. Basically, you have to subdue the dire weasels, so you now have a dire weasel mount.
This is awesome.
So let me. Oops, that's not that one. I'm gonna have two separate. I'm gonna have two separate dice for this. The black dice that I have right now are going to be for the dire weasels,
Two dire
and the blue dice that I have right here. Where's my other? The blue dice I have are for the kobolds. So I will roll these periodically, and it will basically just determine what the odds are of each side
Nice.
and who's winning the fight. Because potentially the dire weasels could beat the kobolds, very much like the emus beat the Australians.
How big is the dire weasel just by chance?
For us, kobolds is a medium now.
Yeah. How tall are you?
Well, I hit level 10, so I gained 7 inches. So I'm 210 now. But if I use my giant might, could I use 2 of them as roller skates?
Oh, geez.
Right, that's fine, dude. They're long. They're not stocky. They're long.
It's like Aquaman with dolphins. It's a dire weasels with kobolds.
Either that, or if you're in your aura, I'll say that if you're in your aura when you do this, they gain the size too. So The dire weasel is now a greater dire weasel.
Huh.
Or something like that. It doesn't exist, but you know, I make stuff for you guys all the time.
Let's continue.
Yes, let's continue. The 6 Kobold adventurers, Sir Thomas, and now 900 Kobold villagers, which have, might I add, sticks and stones weapons, because their culture has not advanced in centuries because they're on their own island. They've not been in contact,
And your kobolds.
and they're kobolds. They've not been in contact with an actual city in almost a millennia.
Hmm.
So they have sticks and stone weapons, slings, very basic improvised weaponry.
This is basic Call of Duty.
Yes. Yeah. You look like you have something to say.
I found your dire weasel.
Yes.
Large beast on the line. Armor class 12. 60, 10 plus 6 hit points. It's not small.
So is that going to grow to a huge creature?
Challenge 2.
We're gonna retract that statement. Damn it. No.
Dire weasels are big.
Challenge 2.
Well, I want one as a mount.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
we're
you guys
looking
all
for
start
us?
heading towards the western part of the island, towards the cave that you guys need to go to. Um,
I'm going to attempt to climb up behind Sir Thomas so I don't have to walk.
on the steed. Are you doing it stealthily?
No,
What are you doing?
I'm trying to hitch a ride off his magical steed. Because I really don't want to walk.
Give me an acrobatics check to see how well this goes.
Oh no. Oh no.
So he's trying to hop onto my horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So can I make a perception check to see how many after he does this?
15.
15. See how well this.
Perception?
Yeah.
Speed's 40 feet.
Just an 11.
Just a little bit. Okay, so you don't.
So 80 at one, right?
You don't. You feel something more than you see something. So I'll say that you at least know he's back there.
I'll say
But-
next time, just ask if you can hop on board.
Yes, sir.
Or no, I'll say next time, please just ask me. I got to remember trying to mind my manners now.
Even with a 15, you still get up there. You can still sit there. I will say it is not graceful.
No, it is not.
It is very much like the air balloon thing. So you like jump and it half like kind of like a
I'm draped across sideways.
like a blanket you put on the
Yeah.
saddle.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I didn't know you had an extra. You had an extra knapsack.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
How many ship points?
what are you? No, these
We have
dire
a whole-
weasels.
We have a whole cargo level.
No. Okay.
Rennie and Trini can move
Maybe
towards
let's food
upstairs.
for the ship.
So you guys make it. You guys make it to. You guys are within a few hundred feet of the cavern that you guys get to. The chief says that basically head through this section. It's basically an open clearing. You'll come to the cave. You'll recognize it. It very much looks. The cave entrance itself looks almost like a skull. With that, the chief says, I don't know how we got convinced this, but I now have to go lead 900 villagers to defeat the dire weasels. I didn't think this was on my itinerary, or I didn't think this was on my itinerary today, but let's go beat our mortal foes.
What
And they
better
just-
way to pass the torch to the chosen? And then I walk into the cave.
Go get some pets.
Victory for the Messiah! We keep forgetting we're in
Yeah.
Victory for the Messiah! And
Victory to the Messiah.
half a mile to go.
I
But
just want to keep quoting after that. Victory to the Messiah.
900
Victory to the Messiah.
kobolds plus the chief start running through the forest, and you see like the forest kind of like shifting, and you go, and then you hear dire weasels way out like a half a mile out. Just
I'm sorry. What was that again? I missed it. I missed it. Okay. You know what? I don't want to die anymore.
I'm not good with animal noises, okay? Let me bring you.
As the armor starts charging off, it slowly begins to fall, and then quickly turns around and runs.
Wait, that's
and
not
runs
what
back.
I'm
Wrong one. Wrong group.
Oh, if he has already stepped in, I'm right behind.
Okay,
So-
if we get the entrance, they go up there.
Are we still on the mount?
No,
Wow.
but the
I'm
mountain
on
will fall.
my shoulders. I'm asking.
No.
All right, just to make sure I understand, do we need to knock first? And I turn to Sir Thomas. I can knock if you like.
You've already done enough.
Sir.
It's hilarious.
That's super fun.
You gotta keep in mind, it's all kobolds. They've not seen a human-looking skull in a millennia. So this skull-like for
So
them.
this the human-looking skull.
Yeah, this is a human-looking skull.
Oh, I say, oh, this
But-
looks more like what I'm used to.
Kobolds haven't seen a human. They,
Right.
I mean, up until you look human.
Right.
What was Titus?
Titus was a human, but you guys killed him on the ship.
I mean,
I don't
you
think
could
he
have
was
seen the
talking.
skull.
No,
He's talking about the
The,
kobolds.
the, the village of kobolds.
the kobold's even stupider
So
than me.
obviously they've had
That's
their
impressive.
own kin die, so they're used to a kobold skull. So it's just like, man, kind of
Speaking to his character, not to him.
yeah, kind of looks like a skull. Not
Dude, either way,
quite,
you're right.
Sort of.
No, no, I'm not.
But yeah, no, you come into this clearing. You guys come into this clearing, and a lot of the foliage is burnt to a crisp. You can see on the front of the mountain itself large scorch marks, but there's no damage to the mountain itself. Not a rock has been moved. It doesn't have any kind of like melting or kind of any kind of like, I'm going to use a smart word, but any kind of like thermal degradation to the rocks itself from like any kind of high temperature spells. There's not been any kind of shifting in this portion of the clearing, the forest, the trees, nothing. And it's a very pristine looking lake, or a river coming from the mouth of this entrance. And
As we look around, I can tell someone here has a kink for thermal detonation.
Be the expert on determining that, wouldn't you?
I can tell by the impurities of the rock.
Expert.
I love how he's an expert in
Warren is going to
everything.
say back to him.
Even though he's
detecting-
completely
I don't know
wrong.
about-
Detecting impurities? Yes.
you just first thing
Thank
you think,
goodness I used it.
who's leading the party right now? Who's like heading towards the
Oh, the
You are?
spine splinter.
Okay. Give me a
Sir
give me a
Thomas is
perception
right
check before
next.
you get into the entrance.
25.
Okay, very easily. To the right is a cavern where you see a good majority of the scorch marks and stuff. You see a kobold up there. Dressed in kind of like more just rags, a hooded rag and stuff like that. He is very, very hurt. He's bleeding from his side, and basically just kind of holding his abdomen as he's leaning up against the rocks where all these scorch marks are here. You can assume that this is the mage that the chief is talking about that comes up here and practices.
I'm right behind them. You want me to make a perception check also to see if I
If
see
you,
them?
if you want to. If you're just checking out the surroundings and stuff.
Okay, that would be a 4, so.
Oh, looks like a skull. It looks like a skull on the side of the mountain.
I'll just kind of point over towards where the thing is, but I'm still going inside.
Okay, I will head over because he pointed.
I'll
So
point at
I'll
him.
poke my head around the corner and approach the wounded kobold
I get my
without any
ahead.
weapons on.
All right, give me another perception check.
Follow Sir Thomas.
Well, got it. I follow Sir Thomas.
Thank you, God.
I'm asleep on the back of this thing.
You're still in back of the steam.
I'm draped across, so I'm noticeably longer for
Oh,
some
the
reason.
steed would be following me.
And I'm asleep.
And the steed
How
would
far
be,
Your
back are
legs
you?
look like they're dangling.
and the steed would be following me.
Okay. You're swaying back and forth. Very odd.
No, I'm draped across.
He would
Okay.
be behind these two, but in front of us.
Yes. You two are following. Very comical how correct that looks. Very slender in the middle.
Very long torso.
Very long torso. Not as meaty as you remember, but
Yeah, so I got 9.
just because you're within proximity, I wasn't going to make it. Not only is he holding his side from a wound that looks like a blade, both his eyes are missing. Both his eyes are missing and bleeding. It's dried blood. And he responds. I keep forgetting that these guys are Scottish. Oh, God, there! I hear you! I hear you out there! Leave me alone! Let me die in peace!
What happened to you?
I was up here practicing magic on the mountain. I got hit in the head from behind. My head, and I never saw a face. I never heard anything. I didn't hear a word. There wasn't a crack of a step. There wasn't on a stick. There wasn't a shuffle of rocks. There's nothing. And he's panicking.
Can't do anything about your eyes, but I can try to heal your other one.
How loud is he speaking by chance?
The football.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that's what you do. I'm under different
I know, I'm not
obligations
fucking
now.
for what you're doing.
He's panicking. He's now talking more in kind of a softer sense to Sir Thomas now that he knows that he's near. He heard you guys approach.
It was really just how loud did he say the "Let me die in peace" line?
Oh boy. You understand, we might have player versus player in a second.
I'm actively snoring.
I will say
this.
I will.
He gave me an item.
I did give you an item.
You're just going to eliminate every important thing.
Yeah, I know.
But it's okay.
Might
He's
be
a
way
kobold,
better.
and another kobold just asked him to let him die in peace.
Dumber than my dogs.
Because I want to avoid PvP.
I'm doing what I'm told.
Yes. No, I know
He is.
exactly.
I gave him a cursed weapon that I forgot about. It's been 3 months yet. Come on.
Hold on. I elbow Oak and point at Rectech's feet.
If you want to distract him from him hearing what is being said, you could certainly try.
Okay. I haven't played.
Sharon's like, please.
I will
I-
say,
I
I will
have
say,
played already,
are you
but-
actively snoring?
Yes, I'm asleep.
Persuasion with advantage.
I'm gonna just say right now, if he does not get distracted and does what he does best, I am gonna be attempting to use that.
That's a dirty 20.
31. Allow it. Because
Do I hear Misery say anything?
they were the dirty 20.
Then I wouldn't think about it.
Okay. You do see Rectech comically snoring. Very loud.
Damn it.
So as I get Luke's attention, I'm gonna pull out my tinderbox, and I'm gonna sneak up to Rectech's feet, and I'm gonna light the tinderbox on fire and just put it on Rectech's feet.
Are you doing hot fun from baseball?
Now, is this going to be touching my steed in any way?
I should just be touching his feet.
No.
Feet that are
The
draped
way
over.
he is dangling it.
Yeah,
5
yeah.
foot.
And I can
Or you
use my
could say
tinderbox
just
now because I'm about to
imagine
burn
going
that
5
shit.
foot draped over your horse.
Yeah.
Your horse is fine.
You're hot footing him like what they do in baseball.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I know.
That's exactly
Basically,
what
so
kobolds
very,
do.
very quickly, off script, a hot foot in baseball, someone will stick, they'll take like the big league chew and then put like a match or something in like paper on it and stick it to the back of someone's shoe and light it.
Well, no, that's
And it's called a hot foot. It doesn't burn them or anything, but it's just like they're walking around with gum on their shoe and flames.
I didn't know.
So yeah, this is what is happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
The whole thing. Not like pieces of the tinderbox. The whole tinderbox.
Give me a perception check, Mr. Sleepy. This is with disadvantage because you're night. While you're doing this, to
I had
answer your
left off,
question.
asking if he wanted me to
Um,
heal his wounds that I could heal.
For shenanigans.
I mean, preferably I don't want to
Oh, you're
die,
actually
but
trying to-
I can't see. I don't know what to do.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and heal your wounds. As I said, unfortunately, I don't think there's anything I can do about the eyes they took from me.
Right.
19 and 5.
So,
13.
all right. So you just
So-
have you have a lit tinderbox on the bottom of your foot
Has he
that you don't know.
has Rectech woken up?
Nope.
Yeah, he gets 17
fantastic.
hit
Okay,
points
hold on.
from a level
Oh,
10.
Jesus.
I give you my tinderbox.
Okay, actually, yeah. You know what?
He's looking much better. A lot of
Did you
the
delete it
most
yet?
of the bleeding has stopped. He
Did
still
you
has
get
like
it out of your
couple cuts
inventory
and
yet?
stuff like that. He still looks beat up.
I'd say that's another roll. There's that.
So I'm gonna light his tinderbox.
Okay.
Middle or top?
Okay. He's like, I appreciate each
Wait, you're
feeling.
wearing a trench coat, aren't you?
I now have to figure out what I'm going to do
Well,
about my lost eyesight.
Oh,
wish
don't you damage my
Wish
duster.
you well. And wish you luck with
It
that.
should be fire
We're
resistant.
gonna have
If I
beef in real
to
life.
cross,
We're gonna have
against
beef in
you,
real life.
I will
I
get
don't want to mess
justice
with
from
his
you.
jester. I don't want to mess with his jester.
Your first hands.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'll put it in one of your hands.
It's like
The
it's like a little
kobold mage gets up and starts shakily walk his way back to the village. Like, great, now I gotta go tell the chief that I have no eyes.
That's what we're not allowed to say.
Anybody,
also-
is anybody gonna tell him
you
that the chief is north side of the island?
I'm not.
Yeah, I never know that.
I'm messing with Rectech. I'm not paying
I'll
attention.
describe where the chief is. I'll also say you can tell him Sir Thomas healed you and that he should not harm you in any way.
My blind brother, wait.
You
Oh,
guys
I
hear
know
it?
Sir Thomas.
So the other one gets
Don't
put to the
pay
top
any
of Rectech's
attention
head.
to this
Jordan's
extremely small
Allow
kobold.
me to show you the power of Tiamat. Let me touch you, my child. And I want to reach out and place my hand on his forehead. And I am going to divinely Eldritch Lay of Hands him.
So what now?
I'm going to Eldritch Lay of Hands with my Eldritch
What is
Lay
this
of Hands.
sacrilege I'm hearing now?
I rolled 245s on percentage on both.
If you need the match right now.
Nice.
So they're not that
Never
that's
rolled
good.
the same
So-
number twice.
Jordan walked up to the blind kobold
Yes.
Yeah.
and did an Eldritch Lay of Hands.
What is Eldritch Lay of
what
Hands?
It's a divine Eldritch Lay on Hands.
The divine Eldritch Lay. That is my new ability I have. Is I now have I have an oath, an oath to Sir Thomas, and I am doing all the really cool paladin things to be just like Sir Thomas.
Okay.
So you would perhaps know.
If I get to have what I've had with various versions of Brawn, where I get to smack him upside the head.
What's your
What
I
what's
am
the spell?
healing this man. I promise you, he will see the light.
What spell are you using, Jordan?
That's Eldritch Blast.
Oh, God.
yeah, that's not what is it?
Eldritch Blast.
Hey, you got luck, dude. I rolled 2 19s plus 2, 21, 21.
Well, okay. That's going to undo all the healing I did. All right.
Roll damage.
Why was doing that?
Did
I
it
put
use
the
your
other tinderbox
And that
on.
is 22 points of damage.
I'm going
I
to
need
step
you
in
to see,
front of
brother. I
this
need you to see.
take the damage.
You're going to intercede the damage.
Yes.
Okay. What is your armor class?
20.
20. Okay, so it's still a hit.
Yep.
So you take the
the
damage.
22, yeah.
Okay, so you take the damage.
Now I'm going to
Almost like a divine intervention. Spirit.
say,
You see the person you made your oath to step in front of this individual like he must be protected. Almost like
Yes.
the Messiah, like he's an apostle. He must go and spread the word of your brother.
Open your eyes and you can see.
I'll get you one of these days.
Trust me.
Kobolds are winning right now.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Jordan?
Kobold with no charisma. They just do everything. It's amazing.
Just so we can get back on track, because we only have like an hour and 15 minutes left before we have to get out of here.
I am casting Cure Wounds on myself now.
Go ahead. Biren is the mage starts makes his way to the village. Spine Splitter has entered the cavern. He is fully disappeared. Like his presence is gone. I'm going to say, just for aesthetics at this moment, Rektik, your psychic ability is cut
Ooh.
when he went into the cave.
Like, this wakes me up.
Like,
Like, can I tell? Like, is it gonna
yes, it almost
even unconscious while I'm sleeping? I can.
yes. It's just like it's almost like a disconnect.
My eyes are gonna shoot open. I'm gonna slide off the horse.
Very comical.
When you do that, you wake up with the other tinderbox in your head, just so you know.
In my way.
on your head.
One is on your head and one is on your feet.
Assuming that
He
the
turns
bad
into a
guy is
unicorn.
now left, I'm going to go after
I slide.
Skull Splinter or Spine Splinter or whatever.
A
his
spine
name-
splitter. Okay.
Yeah.
I slide off the horse.
What do I always want to
Stamp
do?
out my foot. Start saying no, and start running towards the cave. And then halfway, I'm gonna stop and just take stuff out my hood. And then I'm gonna continue into the cave. But I'm like freaking out.
Okay.
And as I'm following, I'm going to say, if you juvenile kobolds could forget your little pranks here and follow Spine Splinter. Got things going on here. So,
I'm just
Oh.
dead
I hit the
sprinting.
brother and I follow straight
I
up.
think I would have been
I
following.
run by him and say, "You're not my dad!" And continue on.
be thankful for that. My response.
Warren just turns around and sticks your tongue out at him.
The worst, just me.
I miss this so much.
So you guys all enter in. Rektik is entering first. The moment that you cross the threshold into the cave, give me a dex save.
All of us are just him.
How closely are you following behind him?
Well, I've never seen him sprint like that, so I would have.
Okay, so you guys are
Yeah.
right behind
Everyone
him.
is within 10. Well, let me review. Hold on.
As soon as I get set him on fire.
That's fair. Right as hell.
12.
You're losing. Just
All right, you were immediately behind him.
put your up on my back.
Anyone within 10 feet of me, and I would be within 10 feet.
I would say I would because you stopped
a
to
plus
stick
3.
your tongue out at him.
That's fair.
On saves.
15.
Dex save.
You get 15 now.
Yeah.
You get 15. Okay.
What was your dice, Jake?
That's not my problem. Oh, that's a 23.
Just 23. Okay. You're immediately behind Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13?
Hmm.
15?
Are you running after them as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. What did you
Can't
get?
let these folks out of my sight for too long.
Okay. What did you get?
23.
My splitter, give me a deck save.
You really want to back there?
Yeah. 30. Oh, it's another ability.
I got a nat 20 and I have plus 10.
Okay.
I have a plus 10 and I got 12.
Oh, better.
Yeah. The entrance to this cave was an illusion, and you. The entrance to this cave was an illusion, which is why it was so deathly quiet. You clumsily avoid running into Spine's door because he was only on the other side of this illusion.
Do I like clip him as I go by? Like we brush
Sure, we'll
shoulders?
say. Anybody who got below a 15, I'll say yours was the basis because this is everything. Trips and falls into the game.
I run in, stumble. My shoulder clips his wing or something. With
We'll
throws me to
say,
the ground. I
no,
just go
we'll
rolling.
say I'm right behind you and I grab you and stay quiet.
Your psychic ability is now back up.
I'm riding my brother, and he's following closely behind you. I don't think he noticed you were bent over.
All right. So you guys, that was for my own little comedic.
No, that's fine.
Let's see. Yeah, it was my own little thing. I don't remember.
You think
Okay,
he was trying to use the breath weapon?
Okay, you got it.
What's your bet?
Yeah.
We can put that
Oh, I'm right in the main shot.
behind you.
Small room.
So I'm bringing you guys into a different path. As I said, the front of this cavern was an illusion. You guys run into what you thought was a cavern, but you actually end up into a large stone floored corridor with blue arcing lighting that has lit up this, as well as some additional torches that you see in another small room ahead of you. The kobolds had not been in the cave. It basically was one of those things where it's just like they were too scared to come in here. The front of this cave was a stall. Are you just, what are you doing? Well, you gotta tell me what you're doing with the numbers.
Oh, I'm making it so that I can not sleep and not start smoking food.
Okay. So we're just gonna say that for you, you just start making your way forward.
I keep in mind of with
The
these
group,
guys to
yeah.
be close to it.
Yeah,
I am going to be following him, but I will not be making any attempt to be stealthy or
you have no
subtle.
idea where he is
Okay,
at.
right,
Yeah, the number he
right.
the
Okay,
number he
no,
rolled.
then I'm just going to move.
you'd never be able to.
Then
see.
I'm just going to move forward. Of course, he
Yeah.
rolled like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll never see him.
I
Oh,
rolled
you're not
it.
even a rogue. Oh, yeah. Yes.
What
the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Stupid rogues.
Forgot.
When you guys get to the second portion of the room, this area right here, on the map, there are 3 doors. All of them are closed. But this is the only way to proceed forward. There are no other entrances that you saw when you were in that big room.
Motion.
It
You
literally was
wanna
just one
check the door,
solid
traps, or
stone room.
I will get up off the ground. Since I fell.
Oh no! I had said I had already
Oh,
picked
okay.
you up.
Yeah, he said he stabilized you.
So you want, is the door into that orange area open?
Yes. This is not This is not a closed doorway. This you can see. It's whenever you get to here, you can see that this door is closed from where you were at.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I'm gonna walk up to this first like entranceway.
okay.
I'll just kind of look for traps. I'm gonna inspect the entranceway itself.
Okay. If you want to roll for it, go ahead.
As he does that, I ride my brother up and ask,
um,
should I knock now?
Ooh, girl. It's 21.
Pretty cool. There are no traps that are set. You can see that with this door at one point there were traps here, but they've all been triggered. Everything has already been set off. There were in the doorways you see little pinholes where like darts could have gone, but you see darts on the floor. And these darts have like little chunks of meat in them, like little bits of flesh. So it hits something.
Can I see the activation mechanism? Am I
Yes.
able to tell what actually set this off and if it's
Yes,
If
you
it's
can
set,
see
we're
that the
still
door that
extended.
opened. You can see that the door that opened. There's like a little metal latch on the bottom, and then also where the threshold is, there looks to be something that has sunk into the floor.
but it
almost
doesn't look like it's
piston.
been reset or anything.
No, it's not been reset. Everything that is in this doorway has already been fixed.
Okay.
They did not go into this room delicately.
Well, then I'll step in and then kind of inspect the other doors to see if anything's been opened or shut recently, or if they're trapped.
You see a lot of foot traffic because it's all dusty.
Right.
You see foot traffic into the right doorway and into the front doorway. The left doorway doesn't look like it's seen much, maybe one or two things. Looks like it's more just been as a patrol, just to see if there's anything in there. They maybe attempted to try and get this room open. I'll say even still with your original investigation, because you were in this area, it's a 21. This door is trapped, but you can see in the door with how it is set up. There is rust on the hinges and stuff. There is rust on the hinges as well as the trigger mechanism for this trap. It has not been set.
So the trigger mechanism's on my side of the door?
You can see under the door. Okay, it's like I said, it's all like these pistons under the door that they're held to the way that they're held. You would know this.
Yeah,
With
you're fine. Just
Yeah.
The trap is set from the other side of the door. Is what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is not. It is active, but your experience being a rogue, it's a 50-50 even if you open the door, if it would activate.
Without like trying to push the door open, I'm gonna try to use one of my second daggers to just mark an X on the front.
Okay,
Through the
yeah.
dirt or rust or whatever. I'm just gonna mark an X,
Okay.
so I know that there's an active trap here.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll say that since it's since it's a psychic dagger, it's not a physical thing. Very easily able to do anything, or it'd be very easily something visible for you without causing physical resistance.
Okay.
So it's easily marked for you, and it is a marking you would recognize.
Okay.
But yes, the area, the door that goes to the north of you and to the right of you looks like it's had the most foot traffic recently.
Okay. This may be asking too much, but does anyone look more recently used or more heavily used, or are they about equal?
The one in front of you looks more heavily used by quite a few individuals.
Like what kind of like type of individual? Like a humanoid, a kobold?
Yes. Humanoid. The one to the right, the doorway to the right, looks like it's maybe had one consistent set of foot going into this room. And by your 21 of the entire investigation to get into this area as much as possible. For a different room, I'll have a different.
Right.
This particular room, the set of footprints that look in and out of here, look with common.
We said that door did not appear trap.
This one does not.
And you said that's the one to the right?
Yes, the one to the right.
I'm gonna test the door and try to open it. As long as I reasonably believe it's not trapped.
Yeah. All three of these doors are very sturdy wooden doors. They're very thick wood doors with iron brackets and frosted holding the door together. These doors themselves are easily an inch to 2 inches thick of a door. But yeah, if you're attempting to open the door, at first, because I said that it is not trapped. I will say
To my
that
knowledge.
yes, to your knowledge, it is not trapped. You open attempt to open the door. You at first hear a click. It's like, as I said with the other door, there's rust on these doors. 50-50 chance as to whether or not it was going to activate this, but it did not. It's almost like a gear strip or something. And the door opens. In this area, reveal it for you. I'll say just because Durandel, or not Durandel, because Spine Splitter is skulking everywhere, he's basically following you guys. He's hidden very, very well, but he's skulking around. Spine Splitter, you were the first one in this room, even though he was the one that opened the door. You're like Spider-Man into this room. Swift, like quietly, like an owl. You're just hovering above everybody. into
Or
this room.
Batman.
Yeah, like Batman. Batman. There are several desks in this room that have a lot of books and research material and stuff that you recognize from when you guys were, or when you specifically read the page. A lot of this looks familiar.
There's no gemstone pedestals or anything like that.
Not in this room. There's gemstone pedestals in this room. But you do recognize on one of these particular desks on a large sheet of paper the same sigil that you saw in the Mage Academy on the burnt floor. And it has been, there's been notes on it that he's made, but you recognize the sigil.
Everything is open, all furs and pictures. There's anything that's there's breaking and water, breaking.
Give me an investigation. Well, you see a few notes on kind of how to hold spectral and ethereal views in prisms effectively. You see some notes on like potentially how to make things like this stronger. There are like feel like I'm stealing some of Jordan's stick right now. But basically, not a soul shard, but like soul stones. Effectively, you could potentially put something in one of these to hold. What is it? The prism, the soul cage. Basically, like that spell, where you could strip a soul and just hold it for eternity.
Fuck it.
You see some of that now the corner of your eye. I will say for you and you alone, see if all your mother's famous. That's that person.
They're no longer on that table. They've been picked up.
But I'll say that they're in your inventory. It's just it was more going to be some for sentimental value for you. Recta. You are now in this room. Spine Splitter has already checked on your own stuff. You also want to make an investigation check in here to kind of gather what you can. Basically, through your psychic check, what you got from him, the only information that Spine Splitter could gather was that there's research here similar to like the spell Soul Cage to track ethereal beings for eternity, effectively. And there are sigils in here as well that resemble the same from when he went and investigated at the Honey. But that is all he was able to find.
Is that a door at the northern side of it?
Yes.
Is that
That is open. I didn't light that up because no one had entered the room yet.
has anybody been in the room in the south?
This one here?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Well, I'll go check that real quick
Okay.
before I go towards the open door.
That door is open as well. This map,
You're fine.
this one as well. Here, as you can see, it's an L-shaped desk. There's a lot of scrolls and scribblings here. Go ahead and give me an investigation check to see what you find besides the first kind of scribbling. A separate. This is going to be are kobolds good with smell perception check? Can't remember.
I would say so, but it's just being animalistic.
Well, because he's in a rage for this, Spine Splitter, you can also give me a perception check with advantage, and I'll tell you that. You said you got a 19 on yours?
Yeah.
On this table are handwritten documents that are signed by Durandel with more research material, and advanced arcane magical notes on what you guys saw in the other room in regards to like soul cage prisms and stuff like that. And you see schematics for a very large gemstone prism or prism. And on this prism there are lifts, sigils, and other writings that are both some of it is infernal, some steel, some of it is stuff that we've never seen before.
Okay. I'm in here.
I'll say that you're in here now.
Let me review what my languages are.
Yeah.
But if we want somebody to actually read this stuff, I know Celestial.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna collect, just kind of scoop everything together,
Okay, so that you can bring it to them.
and
so
then
you can
I'm gonna
sift
take
through
like a handful, and as I'm walking by, so I was like, "Can you read?" and I'm gonna hand him just a handful of random stuff that I've collected.
Yeah.
And the rest I'm gonna shove in his backpack.
Okay.
There's more stuff with this guy.
I'll say that there are a couple copies with different writing on them and stuff of the prism. You give the one with Spice Quarter of the layout. You give the one that has all the writing for you.
I just know source.
Just for select. In all of the celestial writing on this, you see it repeat in several different areas. It says the word magic, it says the word prison, and it says the word sight in various areas on the street.
I will disclose that to Rec Dex so that he can disclose that to Spine's.
What did you get on your?
What did you 21 on that? On that word again?
I'm gonna tell the rest of the kobolds that I think Durandel's trying to capture the game.
Well, I'm looking at those glyphs. Look like anything that would.
The glyphs that he was talking about,
That's on that.
or the schematic.
The schematic. Try to figure out. Now I got 22 on that thing. Which one might I be able to interrupt or break or scratch or something that would release and not destroy? If I can't find that, then I guess I'm gonna have to.
You yourselves have not dealt with the magic. The two main stones that were with your mom that she could see. Those were more just backups, effectively, almost like now that you have got the gemstone itself that you can assume that she is in. That is the basically the battery cycle. The two smaller stones are if like a crack appears and the big one she's in, one of those will disappear and effectively repair the damage. If enough damage has been done to the gemstone, both of them will disappear, but then there are no backups coming back. So you can do enough damage potentially to get her out of the gemstone, but it would be a significant amount of damage to get those additional stones to better this.
But if we break those two additional stones first,
Good. And then you just have to deal with other. But that's what those stones are.
well, we'll lay this there and figure it out. But
The last thing I wanted to bring to your attention, I'm happy to handle with something else. With that 19 or or the percent.
it was that asshole that sent to watch and someone found out it said that they killed people in the last hotel.
Yes, but you were also aware that you encountered that one doctor. There were two smells. There was one that was infernal. The one that was direct. This is for a long time. Everything smells like you have to keep it longer than it should go on. Nothing about
While they're doing this, me and Warren are gonna kind of go up and explore the upper room.
Okay. All right. So these are just in this room. There's a lot of blood, like dried blood. Off a lot. So these circulars here, these circular areas here of the floor. So these here are all. There are cages that are above here, and these are almost like collects pools under. Everything is black. Looks like these were the cages that were for these particular people, or for me, as that was almost were like they were drained so that their blood could be collected. And on the far distance, where that beam of light is coming, there is a crack, a large crack in the wall, but it's structural. It's not something happened with shifting of the cave caused basically the wall to split. See, well, you have to get close to it. You can see into another area, very large area, but nothing is until you get close to it. Nothing is in perspective. Nothing is good. You can look it up.
Oh, 100%. Warren saw the light and wants to go.
Luke's standing in shock. Warren is.
Yeah, like a bug.
Warren is like, what's the one movie? What's the ghost movie? Poltergeist. No. How large? The fact that I can see how large it is. When you say large,
it's
like
that? I would. The closer you get, the more you'll be able to see. You're just on the other side of this very large room. This room itself is probably about 100 feet across. I don't know what it is exactly. It's just a description of it right now. But it's about 100 feet across. So the closer you get to this crack, the more you'll see on the other side of it. But it easily could fit. Circle could get through there. It's not one of those things like it's like a small beam to get through here. This was like a shear into the wall from a shift in the rock. So he could easily climb through the rock. You just don't have a full picture of what is on the other side of
that. Warren is going to look at you. Point to the crack. That is all the warning you get because I still scrap it through it. I think that's
Okay. I have a coin flip here. Yeah. Okay. So you start heading through the crack. Give me perception. Or what is? Give me perception. I know that you all have perception. Yeah. The rest of you all have like 6. Probably should be classic. It's a big room, and it's a big room, and there's a big shiny rock. And I know how much you like shinies.
Oop looks back at the room it just came from.
Actually, sorry. What a big shiny rock.
Then looks back at the crack and pocket and runs through.
Are you
Following
hovering over her because you're
No, we're still. Okay, this is going on basically while him and I are
Yes.
doing our thing. That's why I'm not. My screen stops at the north door. I'm not seeing above.
Um,
I go here. Without hesitation.
Yes, you have my attention. What are Fearon and Kieran doing? I know that you guys have just kind of been tagging along, but I figured I'd ask.
I am patiently waiting to follow the lead of Sir Thomas, and until then, I am on my brother's shoulders, continuing to whisper little things in his ears about how great his godliness is.
Okay. So before you, I don't know. We'll take that very, very quickly. If you can roll a physical perception check for me, because this is going to Okay.
11.
Were you looking at the schematics at all, or were you just kind of?
They were schematics.
Well,
They-
from what
they never-
No,
This was going
okay.
on while this.
Okay. With
We went in our room and they went to the
Yeah.
other room.
with a 10, you see the shiny you see that there is with the big shiny rock. Internally, there's a black sphere. It is whisk.
Does this look familiar to what we're calling Skip at all?
No.
Okay.
No. Gotta be. He is not. He is way off in the distance, but you do see another figure. That is standing at the north end of this giant room, and you hear your flail. I don't remember what was actually used for the flail, but we're just gonna go with it for now.
Love you.
This man has caused
Love you. I realized it's going through the TV.
fetch me his skull.
Yes, stranger. What's up? Whatever you say.
Can you say that out loud?
No. I just kind of look at Misery, look back at the figure, and push Warren out of the way and charge.
Have I seen him look at the flail before he pushes me?
You're in front of me, remember?
I will
Look
say
at
from the
his
side. You push. Are you through the crack already? Correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're through the crack. So
He followed her.
yeah, so you're standing on a platform. I'll say that you get through the crack, and you're kind of standing behind her. I will say that you look behind you, and he's just holding his flail, and his eyes are super dark. And then pushes past you and starts to run. I'm having so much fun.
The time point he's moving, would you say he's moving at least 10 feet in like that?
And
Mhm.
Oh, that's full dash.
Great. I'm gonna dash towards him using my charge attack.
Bird.
I'm not actually gonna try to harm him. The goal is that I'm trying to knock him down. So we'll say
like to restrain him.
yeah. So we're just gonna say I'm doing like an unarmed situation.
Yeah.
You can
If
try.
you're okay with that, at least.
Someone's nasty.
I will. So in order for this to
Us
be,
now.
I have you do because you're so just so that this makes sense. Because you're trying to strength instead of being athletic. That's from you, and acrobatics from you because you're basically trying to get. Or it can be an opposed strength, like she's trying to hold you.
If she would even touch me, I use my giant's might to grow large
Okay.
and continue on.
Okay.
So that's a 20.
Yeah, that was. So I already had a 5, and then I have a 7 on my.
And you basically like bat her off of you. So you're trying to grab you, and then you get big. So you just kind of bat her off. Of you.
Not really better off. When I grow large, I just kind of continue on. Whether or not they hold on to me, that's her choice. But I am not stopping.
How big are you when you're in giant? Like height wise, I guess. Medium. Wow.
Well, I grow to large.
Oh, okay.
I think we decided last time.
Got it.
I would say about
16,
50 feet.
16.
Okay. And you just start running out.
Full speed.
Do.
Long story.
Do.
Guys do hear something. Take off running.
Do.
So you're gonna go.
Like
When Warren falls down, she's just gonna stay laying and go.
What's the weight rule when you grow in size?
I don't know what the weight rule is. I'm just
Lower
using it.
He's on the spot too.
Oh, that's what it is.
Hey, Jordan,
Yo.
what's the increase in weight when you grow in size?
120.
Your ability to carry or your actual weight
Weight.
Off.
double. Well, actually, let me look at your rulings.
It's not in detail, but you recognize it. Through the crack. It's several hundred feet away.
You just multiply by where you're at, Jake. So whatever your thing would be, you double every time you go up in the level. You double that weight, according to the calculating.
Enter a crack. And
I see him just dead spread with a flail.
Just for
So as he takes off, shit, out loud, like let's go.
after I
I'm gonna
grow,
start
I
running
weigh
after him.
600 pounds.
But yeah, like
As
I
I
said,
completely
it's
melt it.
during year.
and then you hear that.
Alrighty. Now, guys, get into it.
I will.
I will be right back.
Jake's like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
I don't know if you move. So like you're fine right now. I get your hands every now and again, and the cat, and that disappears.
Of course.
Oh, I guess it's not a cat, but I'm saying it's your hands. I see a gem. I think I need to fuck it.
This is not the same type of gym. I don't fuck gym.
Actually,
And if you fuck this one, Spice Floater might kill you.
I was gonna say the
I
same.
keep forgetting him in the library. I just had
I hold myself back as I have given an oath to Sir Thomas and ripped off my own penis and gave it to him as a sign of my devotion.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to wonder.
Does that mean?
Karen goes, I can't fuck your mouth. We got right in 2 minutes, guys.
Yeah, we're way past.
Thank God.
Okay. That is 2 breakings of Sir Thomas.
Oh, yeah. 2 more or 2 total?
Did you do it forever?
With
Dina?
the reference to somebody's genitalia that is no longer attached to that.
Yeah, that he gave up for you.
That he gave to me. Yes.
Yeah, gave up and gave to you.
That breaks me for sure. Yeah.
That allows Sir Thomas to be a kobold officially.
I put you
I will
guys
burn in hell before
in the
I.
order of how
Jesus.
things took
How
off.
tall
That's
is
where
this
the
area?
crack enters right there in the corner.
I just want to make sure Thomas understands. That doesn't mean I want him to go fuck himself. It means I love him.
So like
Yeah,
how
ceiling
high is
down.
ceiling down?
Oh,
God, that crystal looks high.
it's kind of like so it is. The room itself is a half sphere. I would say that the tallest point of this room is about 100 feet up.
Hell yeah. I want to reach up and touch it with my Eldritch.
When I get into the room, I can literally.
It's like my Eldritch keeps.
Do I see the gem? Do I see him too? And how big is this gem? Yep.
Inside, I remember all of you. You're 3 foot. This gym itself is about 5 times your height.
It is a 50-foot long gem. So big enough and running it out of here. Got it. Okay. Do I see the asshole?
I cast Unseen Servant.
That scares me, Jordan.
I need my Unseen
cast
Servant to go over and polish the crystal slowly,
yeah.
unseemly.
You see him specifically. You see.
Well, I'm saying we have 15 foot. We have 15
His back
foot here
is turned.
running towards something.
Yes,
That's why
his
I'm
back is turned. Or no. Retract that. Yeah, I forgot he was 600 pounds now.
Oh, he wears his cover.
He is in full. He is in full defensive stance. For this. For what is coming towards him. He just sees a very large. He sees a very large dragon kobold looking thing. He's like, that's not a dragon. Yeah, he sees him barreling towards you, and it is a not a fully dragon. He's much beefier than a dragon. He's gone. You see him.
I'm just trying to like that's good because we shouldn't have to deal with what and which one's going to pay attention to the rest of stuff that's going on. Some of us get surprised.
That broke Sir Thomas twice.
That is
Is
terrifying.
true.
Just now.
This is
The
true.
beer bar. We're walking to it because I've never tried this.
Over here.
Oh, okay.
His character.
I wonder how the dial weasel population is doing.
Yeah, we haven't heard the combat. How's the dire we get the combat ball?
Oh yeah. It was definitely going back and forth there for a little bit. No one was definitively winning. I mean, it's going to be the final one. It's going to be the final roll for it. I'll say that it was pretty neck and neck. A lot of them have taken hits from both sides. This will determine which side won. So whoever wins will have the least amount of heads.
Here's a point of inspiration for the Kobolds.
Will your followers be worth a damn? That's fine.
I like the old version.
Yeah.
You're very inspiring to them, Jordan.
A -2 charisma. I don't know how I'm doing this. It must be because the DM touched my page.
That depends if
It's a whole Messiah thing. That's what got everyone. They stopped really fully listening.
Yeah.
Yep, same way that we coaxed him to take him to the temple.
Think about that.
I will say with the
I'm horrified.
fight,
I was going to go Kobolds. That's what I was. Okay.
the diaries will point us about 25%.
Still fun character.
Would you like to hold my D20?
Oh,
No, they did. So they only have 25%. I think they're the gross money.
carry the 2. It's a leap year.
I get very far into this topic.
There's 11.
Hmm?
They're staking 11. How big was
Oh,
Yeah, but this will be more
It should be a very fully rested meeting there.
already.
I thought you said in the stairways to heaven. I was thinking,
There is that.
what? Yeah, there is.
So that I know what.
Oh, there's initiative. Who's getting beat up? Don't kill us, Sir Thomas. It's not worth it.
Like, you just want me to roll with me? Okay, so do the first one that
Karen didn't mean it.
didn't. This is what's going to happen. So put the. You don't know. You see, put his figure, they can probably kill it. Oh, yeah. Just basically got straight in their souls, kind of thing. He calls to that are one is next to a down pillar. Kind of like shadows. It calls to two of these sorcerers, or two of these mages, to basically call in reinforcements, protect the gem. Just keep it away. I need more time, basically, is what he's saying. You're not a barbarian, but you're effectively in a ring. This thing has told you to fetch its soul, and you are on a one track line. That being said, that being said, with where you are at, with the two tiny lights from small kobolds to either side of you, and then repeatedly a dual line of skeletons between you, the kobolds.
I would say leave the skeletons to me once I get there.
You are. I just saw your health, and I just saw their health. This is going very, very easy. Right. I would say you. I would say you did because he's from you, and he has already started barreling to it.
Are you marking down initiatives for?
Yeah, I will mark down initiatives.
When Warren hears him say that, she's gonna say, "Don't be a bitch."
Right. So look this first because of what he
Warren ain't
did,
afraid of shit.
and we'll do the actions. The order of actions next session. I also need to make sure that I write a note that Roaring Giants might. I mean, I know that you'll know that you're in it, but just so that I'm clear. Just like that. And then, let's see. Put that, just write it down.
Like Eugene got 17.
It's like
Yeah.
Price is Right.
You said you got a 17?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just going to go down the list and don't have the screen pulled up for that. Rectic, what do you do?
Wait, back.
3. Spine spoiler, 29. Ooh, all right. Warren, what'd you get?
18.
Fearon, what'd you get?
Fearon and Kieran both are showing what they got. Kieran got 19. Fearon got 10. Nothing better than a monk
Kieran
turned
got
warlock.
10. You said Kieran had what? 19?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty.
I went ahead and put a rage marker on my token so I can for a reminder.
Yeah, that's also good. Flail influenced. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So that happened. You had Giant's Might. You all are at least at the crack and starting to get into this very large room. Book is first. I will say followed by Warren, since you are the next one behind him. Then it is Spine Splitter and Wreck Deck. The initiative will go into effect after this. I'm just saying that how you guys are entering. Then it is going to be Sir Thomas, Fear, and because you guys are following behind that. That will affect your location and what you guys do with your initiatives when leaving back. Also, where's your speed? Is that a spell?
Yeah, and it's active as long as.
So he's just outside.
Well,
Unless you
no,
come in.
he would be following me because he's
Okay.
supposed to assist
Well, then
me
I got to
in
speed.
combat. He shares my initiative.
Okay.
So.
Plus.
Sir Thomas
Actually,
out of my steed.
We're going to say I found it up on him.
Okay.
Because then I get 60 feet of movement, 30. So, yeah, I might want to do that.
Yeah. What'd you say, Jordan?
I said, Sir Thomas, what do you think of my seeds? And I pop my brother on the side of his head.
I need to.
I'm going to put my seed.
I say, who's more intelligent, your steed or mine?
I need to buff him.
Absolutely, I agree.
I saw Ook's health at 124, and it would be a very fast fight.
That's part of the course.
You don't need to buff anything.
I'm
I'm perfectly fine with it.
I need to buff it because I want this fight to be somewhat eventful. Now be like, aha, boom, boom, boom. Sorry, Spine Splitter, he's already dead.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Action surge.
Wouldn't you want to get vengeance for your mother?
As long as it got done.
Yeah.
I'm going to consume his body piece by piece.
Yes, exactly.
Don't you want to watch the life leave his eyes?
I'll see a light leave his eyes when he bashes his skull in.
It steals his soul.
Well, how fitting would that be?
I know.
You gotta sign this off.
I did make a joke to Jake that maybe Warren decides to become a warlock and makes Durandel your patron, and then sees how quickly Spine Splitter trades.
I would
That would be super nasty.
Are you signing us off?
Would you say?
She, as a joke, said, she's like, oh, I wonder if I'll just make Durandel my patron and see how quickly Spine Splitter turns on her.
Immediately. I would guess.
Just like, I now have a fight on 2 fronts.
Oh, you gonna sign us off?
Yeah. Guys, thank you again for joining us. It has been a pleasure to DM again. I have missed it. The last 3 months has been long, and it has been draining working just nonstop. We are going to try and meet up against next Monday, schedule permitting, but we are going to start getting more on a regular basis now that peak season for me has officially come to a conclusion. thank you all for being here. Thank you guys. Thank you players. Thank you guys for allowing me to do this and letting me rejoin. And you all have an amazing night. Thank you for joining us on Nat One Nonsense, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.